Welcome to Season 7 of Situations, the podcast, where real people talk about real life situations. This season, we're turning up the heat with deeper conversations, raw truths, and the kind of topics everyone's thinking, but nobody's saying.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Kelvin, your host of Situations, the podcast.
And I'm your co-host, Miss Tiana.
How you guys out there doing today? Tiana, how you feel?
I'm feeling pretty good. What about you?
I'm doing a little better. I feel pretty good. How was your holiday?
It was cool and crazy at the same time,
right,
family.
right. Okay. Today's title is "Love Didn't Hurt Me, My Decision Did."
Okay.
But before we get off into today's show, I just want to let everybody know, once again, I state this from time to time that I really appreciate you guys supporting Situation the Podcast each and every week. Today is our last episode of 2025.
Yes.
So I think that's a great accomplishment, so I just wanted to put that out there. Deanna, how you feel about that?
Man, we done came a long way,
Yeah. I feel good going into 2026. We got to turn it up a notch. We got to bring you guys, better episodes and
hmm
more meaningful topics and things like that we all can relate to, because this is the type of
Right.
podcast this is. We want to talk about situations where everyone can actually relate. Okay,
Right.
so let's get off into it.
Okay.
Today's title, once again, is "Love Didn't Hurt Me, My Decision Did." Okay, but let me ask this.
Child.
Let me pose this first question to you. If love didn't hurt
Okay.
you, what actually did?
Your decision.
Okay,
Like the title said, I can definitely agree with that.
right. We got Barry. What's going on, man? We see you. We
I mean,
appreciate you.
because
Barry said, "Happy holidays to the both of us." Happy holidays to you, man.
hi.
We appreciate it.
Happy holidays.
Go ahead, Tiana. Say what you have to say.
Just to elaborate on my answer, I think we've all been in situations because it's like you fight for love, you fight for the person that you with, but sometimes in your gut feeling, you be knowing it's time to go, and
Right.
you end up staying too long when you should have just followed your first mind when you left instead of coming back and giving it another chance, or 5 more chances, or however many chances you gave it.
Absolutely. And not only that too, it's like when you stay too long, you're ignoring the red flag. Because you wanted more than potential, but more than peace as well. So sometimes when those red flags
Right.
present themselves, we have to listen to that gut feeling. Deanna, what's your motto when
Yeah,
it comes to
because
that?
that's the truth.
What's your motto when it comes to that?
Trust your gut.
Yeah. No, it's something else you normally say.
What did I say?
Um, Well, I can't remember how you always paraphrase it. Um, well, your gut.
Like you can overthink a million things, but you can't make up a gut feeling.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's what I was trying to say. You're absolutely right
You
about
don't
that.
wake up, you don't wake up and say, I want to feel hurt today. I want to feel betrayed today. You don't wake up and say, I want to feel like that. When it hits you, it just hits you.
Right, right. And you can't ignore those signs. You have to, and I'm pretty sure we all can relate to that. I'm pretty sure each and every one of us
Right,
have been in a situation to where we stayed too long and we overlooked red flags, you
right.
know, and we can't find nobody but ourselves for that. We can't find nobody but ourselves.
You know what? I can honestly say I didn't even overlook them. I was rooting to give a person another chance because I wanted them to do better. I wanted them to take accountability and acknowledge what they did and make the change. But
Okay.
no, when they show you who the hell they are, you better believe them.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And that's one of our downfalls. We don't pay attention to the signs. Like you said, you didn't you like you said,
Guess what? In
you
20
saw the signs, but you wanted change. You was hoping for change.
Exactly. Exactly. I was rooting for them to do the right thing. No,
Right.
but it's like they were showing you who they were. But I say
Right.
you one thing in 2020, in 2026, I'm gonna quit.
But why do you think
I
but why
Baby,
do you
you got
think
one time. You
that's it,
got
just
one
one
time
time,
with
huh?
me.
Right. But let me say this.
Yeah, because I'm gonna communicate everything. Hmm.
Let me say this. Why do you think most men and most women stay after the sign of first disrespect? After they showed you disrespect the very first time. Why do you think we stay after that?
Because everybody excuses this was a mistake. This was a first time offense. So you're not gonna leave after that. And like I said, you give the person mercy and grace because you love them. You didn't invested time, whatever you invested, and it's like I'm not just gonna throw it all away for this one thing. And guess what? They keep doing it after that.
Right. Well, like I
Soon as you
said,
let one thing slide, they start skating all over your ass.
right. Well, you're absolutely right because we as men we have a tendency to especially if it's somebody that you're interested in. If it's somebody that you're interested in, and this person is showing you a sign of disrespect, we always tend to try to
Right,
resolve an issue if there's an issue, opposed to
right,
uh
right,
immediately saying, okay, well, no, I'm not going to waste my time with this because uh this is bluntly disrespect. So
right.
I can agree with that. I can agree with that. Ronnie, what's going on, man? We appreciate you.
No, because you know what? The new generation, they'll be saying, remember that song, She's a Runner, She's a Track Star. It's like, no. Anytime you gotta go against yourself and have internal conflict with yourself over somebody else and what they did, it is time to go. It is time to run.
Right,
Run the hell fast.
right,
Run. Because it's some stuff in them that they need to fix. You're trying to sit down and have a mature adult conversation about it, and you're trying to save and salvage what you think, is a great relationship, and they showing you they done took the mask off. The representative is gone.
right,
And now you confused because you like, wait a minute, who is this?
right. Absolutely.
And you giving them time to show you the person, that they showed you at first, and that person never comes back. That's what I experienced.
Right. Well, you got people in the chat agreeing with you. Barry said you're definitely right. He said you're definitely right about that.
Hmm.
So, but but let me oppose this. Do you think it
Okay.
was actually do you think it was actually love or the fear of starting over?
Uh, Maybe the fear of starting over.
Okay.
I think maybe it was love, but if something, depending on what they did or what they said, if it pierced you too deep, it's like, because I'm not gonna, like, when I'm in something with somebody, and it's, enough time to go by and everything like that, I do fall for the person.
Okay.
So I can honestly say I love people, but it's like when they show you something, it's like, now it's like, the question is, do you love them more than you love yourself?
Right.
And see, for me, I've always been the kind of person, like, I know I'm strong, I know I'm this. I always coddle and tiptoe around hurting people's feelings, but they don't be giving a hell about hurting mine. So now, but then, so it's like, if we have conversations after the relationship was over, or there's still some kind of contact, I get told I'm being mean. When now I'm just being direct. At first I was being silent because I'm thinking that's gonna keep the peace, but it really wasn't doing nothing but hurting me. And they kept
Right.
playing in my face because I was being silent. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to argue. But it's like, now the gloves off, motherfucker. I ain't shutting up. Now what were you doing? I'm just saying.
Right.
I'm
Right.
just saying.
Right.
I'm not shutting up about nothing else. And that doesn't mean that I have to be disrespectful, because I don't disrespect people. But they say you disrespectful when you actually stand up and speak up for yourself and you call them out, and they don't want to take the accountability for it. That's all.
Right. Well, I do know, sometimes or most of the time, I have to say, it'd be fear disguised as loyalty too. You know,
Yeah.
so and a lot of times it's understandable. A lot of people, have so much time invested in a relationship, and you got all these things, and now it's time to start all over again. It's like,
Right.
it can be overwhelming. It can really be overwhelming
Yeah.
because, like, for an example, me for an example, I've started over, and at this particular time in my life, when I did start over, I walked
Hmm.
away from everything. I had got
Right.
to the point where I just couldn't take it anymore.
Right.
And when I walked away from it, it was like I walked away from everything. I walked away from the car, the house,
Right.
the furniture, everything. It was time for me
Right.
to go. It was just
Right.
time for me to go. I just couldn't bear it no more.
Right.
And that's one thing about me. Fear of starting over. I wouldn't I wouldn't say that's a fear of mine because I know
But
me.
right. But let me ask you this. So when you left everything, did you immediately jump into another relationship, or did you take a little time for yourself?
Um, I don't really recall. It's been so many years ago. We talking over 20 something years ago.
Yeah.
So I can't really actually remember.
Hmm.
Um, I'll be lying if I told you yeah, or if I'll be lying if I
Yeah.
tell you no, because I don't remember.
Because that was a pivotal lesson that I learned in dealing with men. I'd be single for 2 years and here come a man coming along. You know what I'm saying? No sex, no nothing. And but these men are getting out of these relationships or baby mothers or whatever, marriages or whatever, and they be fresh. They don't take the time to get what they sell. And then they be so whatever they is over me or whatever. And then once the suitcases start unpacking, now I'm getting hit with all the baggage and the hurt and everything that they dealt with because they never even took time alone to address those issues.
Right,
They just went on to the next person, and because I just happened to be that person in those shoes or whatever, I ended up getting hurt. So for me, I could say on my end, I really cared, but I don't know if the other person really cared. You know what I'm saying? Because once I start seeing those switch ups and the mask come off, it's like, well, damn, who was this?
right, right. Yeah, I can agree with that. I can agree with that.
So that's why I was like, for me, it's like, if I didn't invest in my love, my whole heart, everything like this is, it's not really so much of the fear of starting over. It's just like I'm sitting there confused trying to pick up the pieces. Like, what happened? Like, I mean, I done lost half of my family. I done been in car accidents, bogus record deals. You know what I'm saying? Different career paths and everything like that. So I don't really think I have no fear of starting
Right,
over.
right. I know, right.
So
I
I
know,
mean,
right.
I've conquered and 100% of all those things because I'm still here. I'm still smiling. I'm still moving forward.
Right, right,
And so I just be like, I just think people need to take time for themselves, the men and the women, and actually realize what they want, because that new person don't deserve that.
Absolutely. You're absolutely right. We got Ronnie in the chat. Ronnie said healing is a big key. You're absolutely right, Ronnie. You're
Yeah.
absolutely right. Healing is a big key. You know, and
Yeah.
like she said, most time people don't take the time uh, to heal
Right.
before they move on. You know, is it normal? Would you consider that normal or not normal? Because
What?
what happens if you move on and you found that you immediately found that person that means everything to you and was giving you everything that you was missing?
But
How
that's
does
the
that
whole
work?
thing is, are you going to be open and vulnerable enough to be like, hey, you know, these were some issues that I was dealing with. I didn't really get a chance to unpack that. I don't want to hurt you. And I don't, you know what I'm saying? I don't want this to not be a thing for us. So can you take some time with me? Can you have some grace? Can you help me through this? But people be having so much pride and ego that they won't even say that.
Right. Well, not
Because someone
only
is
I wouldn't say that they have pride and ego. I wouldn't say that. I would say it's vulnerability. When you open up to a woman that fast, like you said, the man probably has the thought process that she's gonna look at him different, or she's gonna take him as being a weak man.
yeah.
You know, so
I'm not
sometimes that's
saying that
probably why.
that fast, but if you were with a person 6 months, a year, going into 2 years, and you still ain't opened up, and then that's what I'm saying. You end up just getting a switch one day from this person, whether it's a man or a woman.
Right,
You see what I'm saying?
right,
It's like, because if you got the man that's doing everything that this woman could ever possibly want to dream of, like showing up, and it doesn't have to be, these elaborate gifts and all that monetary, but just still showing up and being that man that she needed every area of her life, and then because she's been verbally abused or maybe physically abused, whatever, it's like she don't ever trust nothing, she don't ever appreciate nothing, he doing everything right.
right, right,
You see what I'm saying? So it's like, that's what I'm saying. It's both. These men and these women that been hurt, they need to take some time to heal before they start jumping into stuff with other people that actually took the time, or they don't have a problem with communicating or expressing how they feel. Because somebody end up getting hurt.
right. Okay. With that being said,
Hmm.
how much damage you think comes from hoping somebody will change?
A lot. Because it's almost like you put them on a pedestal. And so you're disappointed by what they did to you. And then you even more disappointed when you don't get the change that you're expecting. So you got a double whammy.
Right. You're absolutely right. I mean, because my thing is, you know, you waste years on a
Right.
situation or a version of somebody that doesn't even exist.
Right.
You know, you hoping and you praying that he'll change, or you hoping and praying that she'll change, and that
Right.
that that version doesn't even exist.
Right.
So when you look up, shit, you 7, 8, 9 years in.
Right. They put on a facade to get you. And then as soon as you did one little thing, they blew up. But that was actually who they was. And you was like, hold on, wait a minute.
Right, right,
Where this come from?
right.
Who are you and who sent you?
Yeah, you're right. But in the same
But they could
token, go ahead. I'm
have.
sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say, but they could have actually been doing little stuff, and because you was just so in bliss, what I'm saying, and head over heels, it was going right over your head.
Yeah. But why do you think most people romanticize the struggle in relationships? That's something
Because
I've never understood.
because a lot of people uh, deal with trauma early on, or they see it, and so they think that it's right. Because it was another podcast with this guy like, if my girl ain't this and that, riding with me through the, she went. I had 3 baby mamas on her. I did this. I went to jail. She held me down. Whatever. That's my ride or die. Why does she damn near have to die to ride?
Right.
Why you just couldn't open the door for her and, hold her hand and, you know, be the gentleman or whatever and be, intentional.
Right.
Why do a person got to go through all these hardships with you, you know what I'm saying, for you to feel like this the one?
Yeah, you're right. But also too, let me add this too.
Hmm.
Most times, um, society has taught us that love is supposed to be tough. Love is supposed to be hard, you know. Um, and I think that's what a lot of people are still basing
Right.
their relationship around, the toughness and how hard relationships are supposed to be.
I think they got a communication about that. I think so. Say for instance, me and you was in a relationship for 5 years, and then you lost your job. I'm not finna leave you because you lost your job, baby. We gonna figure it out. That's a hard situation, but you not intentionally putting me through BS. You know what I'm saying? For me to be a
Right.
ride or die,
Right.
or one of us gets sick, or you know what I'm saying? We just having a tough time. We might need groceries. We might need to sit down and re-strategize a whole nother life plan for us, you know what I'm saying, financially, or we might be making a big move and one person don't really feel sure at first, but the other person, babe, we gonna get through this together. Like I want you by my side, I want you on this new endeavor with me and stuff like that. Those are kind of like the tough decisions, or what is supposed to be, you loving through somebody through a hard time. That's what that is, not all that other stuff.
Right. Right. Yeah, I agree with that. Because like I say, relationships, being in a relationship with somebody that you truly care about, is not hard. I
It's
mean, it's gonna
not.
be it may be some bumps in the road, and it
Right.
might be some obstacles that we're dealing with, but
Right.
once you get past those obstacles,
Right.
that's when we can sit back and laugh about, where we come from to
Absolutely.
where we are today. It's just it's communication
Right.
and willing to open up with your partner and say, listen, this is what I'm dealing with. This is what I'm going through. You know, what do you think? What do you think? Should I do? How should I handle it? It's simple
Absolutely.
communication.
Absolutely.
Simple. Okay, we got a comment here. Ronnie said, I completely agree. We see those wrong things and think that's okay. Most women see their mama get beat, typically dealing with domestic violence. Yeah, I can agree with that, Ronnie. I agree with that.
Yeah.
I totally agree with that 100%. But um, like I said, being in a relationship is not tough. There
It's-
gonna be some tough times.
right.
Everything will not always be peaches and creams.
Right.
We're gonna face some hard times. We're gonna face some hardships. But you got to remember one thing: you're not in it alone. If you're in a
Right.
relationship, you all in it together. There's no more I.
Right.
When you're in a relationship, it's we.
And
And
but see, that's the disconnect right there. Because people get into a relationship and then still be doing other stuff on the side or whatever they want to do. And then when you feel the disconnect and now you asking questions, this and that, they calling you crazy and trying to be dismissive. You know what I'm saying? It's like, no, that's not cool. Just be honest.
right, right. Well, like I said, I mean, we as individuals make the situations hard
Right.
because it's definitely not hard to figure it out.
It's not.
Especially when you got somebody that's willing to help you figure it out. Trying to figure
Right.
it out on your own, it might be a little tough because your mind is discombobulated. You're not thinking clearly. You're all over the place. Your mind 100 miles an hour. But
Right.
when you got somebody that's more calmer and with their demeanor, it can say,
Right.
okay, well, listen, settle down for a minute, and
Right.
and why not try this approach?
Right.
Opposed to your mind just running 100 miles an hour.
Pretty much.
So
And it's
it's not
it's, it's
hard,
crazy. It's crazy that we talking about this because remember when I called you last night, and it wasn't
right?
even just gender based or whatever. I was just talking about people in general with certain situations that I had to deal with, and I chose the high road and just went on about my business and tried to,
Right.
disconnect myself from it. And it's like, now y'all want to be back in my life. For what?
Right.
After y'all did wrong, when it just could have been a clear cut communication, like we said today.
Right. Absolutely. That's all it takes.
Because,
That's
baby, in
all it takes.
2026, anybody that did me wrong, owe me money, remember paid in full. You are not going. Stay where the hell you at. Cause
Right.
it's not gonna be nothing long term for us. I'm gonna always be cordial. I'm gonna always lead with class and respect or whatever. But if you think you finna be a part of my life like that, it's not happening, sweetie. Move
Yeah.
around.
Okay. I'm gonna pose this question to you.
Okay.
What decision hurt you the most this year?
Uh it's just the only one for me because I always wake up and I see the glass half full. I always wake up and see the good. I don't ever wake up and be like, damn, what bad gonna happen today? I don't ever wake up like that. Even when I see a person do bad things, I don't say that's a bad person. They made a bad choice, a bad decision.
Right.
So for me, it's always like redemption. You know what I'm saying? The underdog, like, oh, they could do it. Like I'm always rooting for somebody like and myself. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not perfect either, but I do feel like I have a lot of empathy and compassion, and I'm a very, great communicator, and I just feel like people be dropping the ball, you know what I'm saying? And then they want to come back. It's like, yeah, I'm gonna forgive you, but baby, that access, mm-mm. So
Denied, huh?
that's my biggest thing for me. I was saying, and I'm still like that, but I'm glad I am because that means I didn't allow them to change me.
Right. Right. Okay. Um. Well, I'm gonna pose that same. I'm gonna pose that same question to myself. I'm gonna answer the same question.
Okay.
Excuse me. Well, for 2025, I don't think really too much have hurt me in 2025.
Yeah.
But if I had to say, it would be giving someone access who didn't earn my trust um or didn't have consistency.
Absolutely.
That's what I would.
I think
That's how I would answer.
I think that was my big ones for 2025 too. Cause I don't think I really got hurt by nobody this year. It gave me awareness to who they really were. You know what I'm saying? Once they showed me something.
Right.
So I would say that, yeah.
Yeah. Like I say, if you experience that, it just you have to make some adjustments. You have to do some fine
Right.
tuning.
Right.
You have to change some things around a little bit.
Yeah.
You know. But I know going into 2026, I'm moving with that same momentum. You know,
Mm-hmm.
uh, full steam ahead. Full steam
Right.
ahead.
Right.
All right.
Tight
Okay.
knit circle, business moving accordingly. And people really gonna have to be who they say they are. You're not getting in the club.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. Hold on.
Attention, all creatives and business owners. Are you a clothing designer, music artist, entrepreneur, or brand owner looking to get your name out there? Here's your chance to be featured on Situations the Podcast, the platform that shines a spotlight on real people, real stories, and real success. Get promoted, get seen, and connect with a growing audience that supports movers and dreamers like you. We're also looking for sponsors ready to grow with us and be part of the movement. Tap in today. Let's make your situation go viral.
Okay. Let me ask you this.
Okay.
We as adults,
Mm-hmm.
why do we confuse chemistry with compatibility?
Because you automatically leave with what you like about the person.
Okay.
Or it might just been a cool moment, but it could have just been y'all just had that one thing or them two things that was
In
compatible.
common. Right.
Right. And it's not necessarily chemistry.
Right. Absolutely. You're absolutely right. Because I know that a lot of times I think chemistry excites us.
Right.
Compatibility sustains us.
I can
If that
agree with
makes
that.
sense. If that makes sense.
It does. It
Okay.
does.
Um. So, but let me see. I'm trying to figure out. I'm trying to word this to where it actually. Okay. Well, you got what I was saying though, right?
I got it. I got it
Okay.
for you. The woman goes out. She knows or meets two men. One of the guys, he's, he walk up, he's smooth, suave, all that or whatever, buying drinks, talking to her nice and everything like that. They're physically attracted to each other. That's chemistry. You get the other guy. He's more mild mannered, but still has great masculine energy. He's a little more conservative. And then they get to talking and they both, it's this. The other guy, he seemed like she was she want, and that's what most people go for. But the other one, who's more compatible, not the vibe and the chemistry, the one that's more compatible, that could actually be her husband. But he often get overlooked
Right.
or put in a friend zone.
You're right. You're right.
To the
Absolutely right.
chemistry, to the chemistry, knock her ass over the head.
uh. Yeah, but what I want to add, I want to add to that, because when you was making your analogy, you
Yeah,
know, to me, I think it makes it excitement sells better.
right.
When you suave and debonair, excitement sells better. So that's basically what I was trying to say.
Yeah, but guess what? Every day is not going to be exciting. But when you can come home and the comfortability and the safety and everything like that is there with a person, that's going to be everlasting. That's going to outlast the excitement. You can go to the damn circus and be excited. You can go to a call out and be excited.
Right.
But guess what? If you don't excite him no more, and there's somebody else out there with a fresh BBL and this and that, whatever, he gonna be excited about her, baby, and you gonna be out the damn door.
You're right about that. You're definitely right about that. But do you think choosing somebody that's not ready is a form of sabotage?
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay.
Absolutely. That's why I be saying with a man with me, it's like, don't try to lead with this and say all these different stuff and now to do all that to get my attention. But then to be talking about I ain't looking for love. You should have said that at first, nigga. You would have never got the opportunity to get none of my time.
Right. Right. You're absolutely right.
Or if I recognize it and then I'm like, he's not consistent, he's not intentional, he's not, because to me, if a man is not reaching out to me to see how I'm doing, if he's not being intentional about, what plans he got about courting me or anything like that, it's like, what the hell are you doing? Because I'm not finna make time for you. And any man think they finna call me the day of, oh, well, what you doing tonight? Nothing, sir. There was no thought and plan and none of that. Like, you didn't take the time to reach out to me a few days before or something like that to give me the common courtesy, see what my schedule was, and to give me time, to allow for the proper date or, us hanging out. It's like, I don't have nothing for you. It's just like, no, I might have to do another segment on what to look out for. So, baby, when I say I got it, yeah,
So,
ladies, y'all don't have to wait for these men to say this and that. They actions gonna tell you everything you need to know, whether they interested or not.
right. You're absolutely right.
Because for me, the men that be telling some ladies, how y'all say y'all want a man if y'all don't ever come outside? Baby, when we come outside, ain't nothing else. I ain't saying nothing yet. Where are they? 'Cause no, because it's like it is. The men are leading with
Go ahead. Go
Sir,
ahead.
I don't care what type of car you got.
Oh shit.
For
Oh
real,
boy.
it could be a man. It could be a man in a Honda that's really consistent, really kind, showing up, all of that, and I probably would choose him over the man in the Benz. It's like, sir, these men, some of these men think they want you to chase them, and I'm just not doing that. It's
Right.
still some women out here left with a traditional sense and value and way of doing things or whatever. And if you're the masculine man and you're supposed to be the leader in the head or whatever, I'm following your lead. So if you're not presenting a path, then I
Right.
got to stay on in the house, sir.
You're
I'm gonna be
absolutely right.
sleeping beauty.
Oh boy. Okay, let me say this.
Okay.
How do you think ego and pride keep us stuck?
Because you get up inside of your head about stuff and not actually communicating to see what it actually is.
Right.
You already assumed and you made up what you wanted to make up instead of asking a person. Like, me and I say, I'm high maintenance. Sir, did you even talk to me? Like, I remember this one guy was saying I needed some marketing or something. He wanted me to use him. Talking about he charged $500 an hour. He was like, well, maybe if you stop buying all them damn wigs, you'll have the money for it. Baby, the wig didn't cost $500. You know what I'm saying? But it's
Right.
like you
Right.
already made an assumption and you tried to threaten me for business. Like, that's crazy.
Absolutely.
But
Uh,
it's just that, it's like you don't have to spend $1 million to be put together. You could
right.
actually be, putting your money towards things that you want to put it towards.
You're right. You're absolutely right about that. We got my boy Damon. Damon, what's good, man? He said morals. Yeah, that plays
Absolutely.
the most. That's most important, Damon.
That's number one, dang.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Top of the list.
Yeah, morals. You got to have them. You don't have any
Absolutely.
morals, you might well forget it. You don't have no morals.
But you know what? Sometimes I could say people only know what they know. And sometimes you can get some people that are coachable, that are open, you know what I'm saying, to learn new things and to grow or whatever. So those people I would give them a pass. Some other ones, I don't know.
But but in this day and age, how many people are you think are willing to be really coached? This day and age,
Not too many.
not too many, because they
Right.
gon' they mindset is on one thing and one thing only.
Right.
What you can do for them. And I'm not saying all. I'm saying majority of the
Right.
people that's out here they mind they already got their mind made up.
And
You
that's
know,
why it should be easy to cipher them out.
right? And spot the red flag immediately.
Because in 2026, baby, the garbage disposal is going to be on. It's just going to be on for me. We ain't even turning it off when you get a chance to stop at the shoot to say nothing. We just going to keep it on. Either you saying the right stuff or you not. Do not call me at night. Do not call me at the last minute, man or woman, asking me to be a part of or to go to or to do anything. The answer is no. I'm letting you
Right.
know now. And Kelvin, break this up in the clip so they can see it.
Make sure I clip this part here,
Clip it.
huh?
If you had intentions on you have an event or if you had intentions on me being a part of whatever you have going on or seeing me, if you're calling me at the last minute, it's absolutely no. That's it.
Okay, I got you. Well, you already got one clip damn near about to go viral from almost the same thing already.
And look, I don't know if you've been paying attention to my posts I've been putting up on Facebook. Don't call me after 8:30. Don't. It's I'm just tired of being quiet because I feel like I be trying to be respectful. I be trying to, care about people's feelings or whatever, but I'm not saying nothing wrong. I have boundaries, and if they don't work for you, that's fine. Go find
Right,
somebody who don't have any.
right, absolutely. Absolutely. But let me say this though.
Okay.
Do you think love can survive without emotional safety?
Hell no.
Right.
You talking about jumping out of a plane with no parachute and talking about you gonna make it. You finna hit something fast. And it's rock bottom.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with that because sometimes I think the attraction may survive, but
Exactly.
the love gonna slowly die. The love
Right.
slowly dies. So that's definitely a no. Definitely a no. Okay. Well, I mean, we on the same page with that. That's for
Okay.
sure. Um, Let me ask you this question, and I'm pretty sure you and I both can relate to this next question I'm about to ask.
Okay.
Why do you think that we accept treatment that we never would recommend to our friends?
For one, when you are a leader and you doing things in the correct manner, it's like you be like, if they see me, hopefully they'll get it. That's what my mindset be like. How can they be around me this long and they not get it? You know what I'm saying? Like, or if they're receiving all of the great love, the treatment, everything I'm doing for them, why don't I get it back in return?
All right.
And you don't be want to look at people as being leeches or being selfish, but that's what the hell they are. And I'm calling y'all out.
All right.
Oh, it's so happy when
Hey,
I
hey,
say happy little
I'm
days. We
not
got to
mad at you. I'm not
2026.
mad at you, not one bit.
It's on. It's on all the way. They're gonna be like, this girl don't never shut the hell up. Well, guess what? Come correct or move the hell around.
Right. Right.
I've been quiet for a long time.
I feel sorry for y'all in 2026. If y'all ain't on the good side.
Like whoop de doo.
Whoop de doo.
Right.
What Cat Williams said, it's only one side, and we don't care about the other side. I don't.
Right.
Never
You're
been a
absolutely
follower,
right, though.
so I really don't care.
Do you think being chose is the same as being valued?
Absolutely not. It's not the same.
Right. Okay.
Being chosen, you could be a woman in a nightclub, and the man will be like, "Come on, babe." He come up and pull your arm. He chose you, and that could be for the night. Being valued is a situation
Effort.
could be going on in a nightclub, and the man he scooped you up, whatever. Make sure he gets you an Uber, or he makes sure you get home safe. Follow up. Did you make it
Right.
in? Call you the next day. Good morning. Did you sleep? Where are you? Okay? Do you need anything? Whatever the case may be, just leading with pure leadership, masculinity, and consistency. So no,
Absolutely.
they're
I
not the
agree.
same.
I agree with that. I agree. Because being chosen is just access. You
Exactly.
know, being valued is nothing but effort.
Absolutely.
That's my take on that question.
Absolutely.
When a man value you, everything he does will be with effort.
Absolutely.
So
And he considers you.
absolutely. Okay. All right. All right. All right. Um, let me say this. Let me ask you this, then.
Okay.
What role does accountability play in heartbreaks?
It plays a very big role because when you take accountability, although you did something wrong, it lets the person know you're acknowledging what you did wrong versus you being dismissive, and still trying to put it off on them like, well, if you wouldn't have did this, I wouldn't have did that.
Right.
And
Right.
I think it does. It gives you some type of healing, or it does soften the blow a little bit, when a person comes and say that. And sometimes a person can maybe get a second chance if they start showing, change behavior after accountability and consistency.
Right. Well, I'm gonna say, I think it turns pain into a lesson instead of, it being a repeated cycle.
I agree.
So um, that's my take on that question.
I agree.
Okay. Um. Okay. We're moving right along. Moving right along, Tiana.
Because guess what? When you ain't got nothing but the truth and you straight to the point, you ain't. It don't take all day.
Right. But let me say this, then. Why do you think people ignore their intuitions in relationships?
Because sometimes when you always trust in your intuition, you end up alone a lot. I've been there. It's like I'm gonna live on the edge for a little bit. I might get my head knocked in between the refrigerator and the stove. Not literally, but it's like I need a little excitement. I think honestly, though, I could say for myself, I do know. But at this point, baby, I ain't got it in me. I'm sorry. A little time ago when I was, a little bit younger, it was like no, but it's like they said once your eyes is open, they can't be closed again. That's where I'm at. It's like you're not gonna be able to get nothing past me. You gonna
Right.
have to be the slickest can of oil out there to get something over on me at this point in time in my life.
Right. Right. Well, I know this one of the next question I'm gonna ask is one of the biggest um one of the biggest um reasons I hear a lot of people say when they endure issues in the relationship. You
Okay.
know, is staying for the kids or for the investment a mistake?
Yeah, I can agree with that, but it's like you doing more harm to the kids because now they seeing it. So guess what? Now when they get older, they not gonna leave because they feel like this is love. Well, my mom and my daddy, they stayed in the house together. They love each other. Yeah, we saw all this stuff, so that's got to be love, and that's where the cycle keep going on and on and on.
Right. Or the young men that's in the family or young boys in the family at that particular time see their dad treat their mom a certain type of way or
Exactly.
mistreating her, putting his hands on her. Now they figuring this is what they
Yeah.
supposed to do. So like you
Absolutely.
say, that's a repeated cycle. You're absolutely right about
Right.
that. Absolutely right. Hold on 1 second.
Hey, loves, you're tuned in to Situations, the podcast, where real people talk real situations. Subscribe, it helps the channel grow and keeps the conversations hot.
Uh, okay. What do you think decisions cost most people? What decisions cost people the most in a love situation?
The one we just spoke about, not trusting your own intuition or gut feeling about something because it's like now you're basically saying you love the other person more than you love yourself.
Okay.
So you basically dying on the inside because you now you have internal conflict with yourself and you know that you're not wrong for the sake of saying you love somebody or you got somebody, but
Right.
you don't have yourself. So either way it go, you lose.
You're right. But in that same token, do you think self-love prevent relationship trauma?
Yes, because most people treat other people better than they treat themselves. If you start dating yourself, showing up for yourself, trusting yourself, pouring into yourself, elevating yourself, and you'll start being a magnet to attracting those type of people. So when you
Right.
start attracting the other people that's only there to take, that's only there to demean, that's only there to demolish, then guess what? You will be able to recognize it sooner. That's just like if the woman been in the house for 5 years, she didn't date, she didn't do nothing, she didn't pour into herself, she didn't do nothing. So soon as a man come along and he offer her one thing, now she head over heels. Girl, if you don't get your ass out there and take your own self on that date, go buy your own self that lobster, go buy your own self that person. And it's not saying that you don't need a man. It's saying I want this particular quality of life no matter what, whether he's there or whether he's not there.
Right.
I
Right.
love myself. So, and then furthermore, how could I expect somebody else to do something for me that I'm not even willing to do for my own self?
You're right. You're right. So that, what you said, that leads into my next question. With that being
Hmm.
said, why do people stay um loyal to potential opposed to reality?
Because they got a hidden agenda too.
Okay.
Because if they really want the reality, now they got to step all the way up to the plate. So if they ever decide to do something or to step out or to be disloyal, they're gonna pull that out of their back pocket. Well, you this. Well, I really wasn't sure.
Right. I want to add something to that too. I think a lot of times potential feels safer than accepting the disappointment that one may bring too.
Absolutely.
You know, because like you say, there's sometimes that could be a hidden agenda.
Right.
And that's where the disappointment gonna come into falling in line at.
Absolutely.
Right. Okay. Let me ask you this then.
Okay.
When is it that love becomes self betrayal? At what point in a relationship that love has now become self betrayal?
That first time you compromise yourself, that first time you go against something you truly feel with every ounce of fiber in your being for this
Okay.
other person, or when you know the truth about something and you stay silent about it. That's it. You betrayed yourself. You did yourself a disservice.
Right.
And pretty much now you become a doormat.
Okay. But in the same breath, how do bad
Hmm.
decisions affect future relationships?
Because the truth never gets dispelled and recognized, and there's no accountability. So you keep on making bad decisions. You keep on making the bad decisions. That doesn't make anything better. It just makes it worse.
Right. You're right. Okay. Well, that was pretty much our show for today. And guys, I want to say we had an amazing run for 2025.
Absolutely.
And it was all because of our viewership, our subscribers,
Right.
everyone that liked, everyone that shared, everyone that
Right.
commented, gave us the ammunition to get up every week and produce these episodes.
Right.
So I ask that you guys continue to show that same love and support you showed us through 2025 going forward. Because without us, there's no you. Or without you, there's no us, I should say. Because you, like I say, you guys inspire us to get up every week and produce these
Absolutely.
episodes. And we just hope you guys are able to take something from what we speak on and apply it to everyday life.
Right.
Because a lot of times, a lot of gems have been dropped in these episodes. It's just
And
up to
that's what
you
I was gonna
guys to,
say.
right. It's
Not
just up to you.
not to cut you off,
Go ahead, go
but
ahead,
I
go
don't
ahead.
I don't get on I don't get on here and just be spewing anything out of my mouth. I've actually lived through every scenario that we've talked about and discussed, and everything that I say and every emotion that I give is 100% real. So
Right. And once again, like I said, we just want to say thank you guys for always tuning in every week and being
absolutely.
supportive of the show. And like I said, once again, I just ask that you guys continue to show your love throughout 2026 and forward. Uh, Also, I want to add this before we conclude today's episode. Be on the lookout for our sister station, our sister channel, which is Situations After Dark. Will be coming in 2026. That's a whole different dinosaur. That podcast is going to be a whole different animal from what you see
It sure,
here today. You know,
it sure is.
so all I can tell you is when you
Buckle
tune
up.
into situations after dark, just make sure you're alone and your kids are in bed or whatever the situation may be, because this is strictly for grown folks. I'm gonna tell you that right now. So I hope you guys are ready for what's about to come for situations after dark. Okay. Before I close out, me and my co-host, we prepared something that we wanna say before we conclude today's show. Okay. Deanna, you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay. Before this year ends, I gotta say this. Love didn't hurt me, my decisions did.
I ignored what I felt because I wanted what I hoped for.
I stayed longer than I should have because leaving them felt like a failure.
I called it loyalty, but it was really fear of starting over.
This year taught me love doesn't require suffering.
And being chosen isn't the same as being valued.
Growth didn't come from blaming them.
It came from holding myself accountable.
So next year I'm choosing peace over potential.
And boundaries over apologies that never changed.
This was Situations.
Situations.
We'll see
We'll
you
see you
all
next year.
next year. Okay. All right, y'all. That's going to conclude our show for today. And once again, I want to say thank you guys for always being supportive of Situations the podcast. And we look forward to seeing you guys in 2026. Today was our last episode of 2025. And I want to say thank you guys for continuing to like, share, and show love and support to us. Okay. Deanna, once again, we had a blast this year. I want to say thank you as
Absolutely.
well for sitting next to me every week and bringing the people what they need. Okay.
Okay. I love y'all.
All right. Okay, guys. That's
Hold
gonna
people
conclude.
accountable
Go ahead.
and keep your head on the swivel.
All right. Okay, y'all. Once again, I'm Kelvin, your host of Situations the podcast.
And I'm your co-host, Miss Tiana.
We'll see you guys in 2026. Peace.
See y'all in 2026.